It's still early days in terms of coming out of the lockdown. So our results are for the 6 months ending March, when England was in the lockdown. And we have been quite cautious through the pandemic. We've moderated the growth in our lending. We're still, a medium-sized bank, so we want to be cautious during this difficult time. Where we're growing is we're growing on the deposit side, on the current account side that I talked about earlier. More recently, we're seeing a real pickup in consumer spending. So in the last week of April, spending on our credit cards, we're a big credit card issuer, was up 25% week on week. And we're seeing spending, overall consumer spending, now approaching the levels just before the pandemic back in Q1 last year. So we're seeing quite a strong recovery. It's early days. We expect our lending to be broadly stable through this financial year ending September and pick up after that. We're keen to grow, but we want to do that safely as a bank. And that's likely to be when the government support measures are lifted and we're clear on the recovery in the economy overall.
Obviously, credit card borrowing is unsecured lending. Does it concern you at all to see those balances going up instead of more formal personal loans, which obviously come with a lot more caveats and careful assessment?
Yeah, we've seen a very strong mortgage market overall recent days, underpinned by rising house prices. And Virgin Money and all the banks are very careful in the borrowing criteria, as you mentioned. In terms of credit card borrowing, actually, we've seen the market as a whole coming down quite strongly as the personal sector is flush with cash. And I think it's quite natural that you're seeing some of this sort of revenge spending, as it were, spending picking up. We haven't seen that yet. We're seeing that on the high street. Travel is still very low, but the consumer as a whole really is in good financial shape, given the government support measures, furlough, and that folks have not been able to spend their money, so it's piling up in their current accounts. So we think the consumer is in decent shape. We're still cautious until those government support measures are lifted in terms of the overall shape of our business, but we're cautiously optimistic in the medium term for our business and the UK economy.